Yeah. So I I like to every time we have a guest who has a special, I like to because I'm like a film guy. I love like production and whatever. Um, and you've put out a few specials by now. Like how does that like process start for you?
Um, well, this one was exciting because it was the first time that it was a special where when it was filmed, I didn't know where it would end up.
Yeah.
You know, like my first TV appearance and my first special were both on Comedy Central.
Uh-huh.
So that was like, super high production,
Yeah.
especially at that time when it was like the only place to watch stand up.
Yeah.
Um, and it was special in its own right because when I did my Comedy Central Presents, you got to pick what your backdrop looked like.
Uh-huh.
And that was a thing that me and my buddies, when we started open mics, would, have those conversations after a show of like, if you ever get a special, what would your backdrop look like,
Uh-huh.
And I always knew what I wanted mine to look like. I wanted it to look like I was in detention and it was like an empty classroom and I was like in trouble for telling jokes because I was the class clown. Like that's always
Ah,
kind of
okay,
been
yeah.
my thing. And so when I got my half hour special, one of the calls we had about it was, so have you given any thought to what you want the set to look like? And I told them every detail because I'd been dreaming about it.
Yeah.
And so to walk into that theater in New York City and see the set built out like the
Uh-huh.
way that you had conceived it in your mind as just like a pipe dream, it was like that was incredibly special to me, even though
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with the actual production and filming of it other than being in it. And then the dry bar special was honestly a gig that I took just because I needed a new good tape,
Uh-huh.
like an updated high quality tape that I could send to clubs and use to get corporate gigs and kind of farm for clips. And so I went into that with very low expectations because dry bar at that time was a subscription service for Mormons, basically, is what it was. It was just a library of clean comedy
Uh-huh.
that they sold to the Mormon population, and they would produce these specials in a small theater in Provo and offer it to people on who had subscriptions to the network. And so, right when mine came out, they had signed a deal with Facebook, who was trying to prevent content creators from hopping to YouTube because YouTube had monetized videos
Yeah.
and were able to give people money for clicks. But Facebook didn't have that, and they were trying to get it going. And Drybar was one of the pilot programs that they used. So, again, I had no say over even what the background looked like. I just flew out there
Yeah.
and did a set. But Facebook cranking up the views on these dry bar specials like gave me more exposure than anything I had ever done for Comedy Central. Probably
Really?
anything I've ever done to this day. I got more out of dry bar, something that I didn't even really honestly care about when I
Uh-huh.
first filmed it. And so that's like, it kind of rejuvenated my love for wanting to continue to crank out new material.
Yeah.
And so when I when I kind of came out of COVID and started the writing process again for a new special, I decided this next one I wanted to film it. I wanted to be able to have a say in who released it, and so I rented a theater here in Cincinnati, and it was like 550 seats or something. We sold it
Yeah.
out. Um, Jack Vaughn, who was formerly from SiriusXM and Comedy Central Records, he wanted to produce it. So I had him, capture it, and direct it. And it was just, I don't know, it's very special to me, not to be too corny, but it's like a theater in my hometown that I filled, with all new material, and the audience is full of people I've known from every era of my life. So it's just, I mean, my kids are in the audience,
Uh-huh.
people I went to elementary school with, current neighbors, and everybody in between. So
Yeah.
this one's like extra special to me, not only because it's material that's never been released on anything else I've ever done, but just like everything that went into making it.
Yeah. No, that's dope as shit. I because I think we're at a point now where like people can just make their own stuff and put it out. Like you don't really need to like go to like a Netflix or whatever and like, you know, hope that one day you can like you know, put out a special. Like you can just do it yourself.
You don't have to suck the corporate dick.
Exactly.
You just do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's like everybody's got their own style. Like I don't know how you guys are, but I feel like the word curated is a little too artsy when you talk about the kind of stuff that I talk about. But I'm not as prolific as some of these guys that can crank out a special every year, or that will go to a comedy club, do a set, chop it up, and put all the clips onto social media the next week. Like I still, and maybe it's an antiquated way of thinking, but I like the spend a few years on a special, have it be a nice 45 minutes to an hour set that feels kind of seamless, like it's one big long story. And then you can cut it up, you know, obviously,
Right.
but I like capturing people for that much time versus like, here's a 3-minute bit, here's a 3-minute bit, here's a 3-minute bit. And they're just constant reels that, you know, don't really have anything to do with one another.
You have more of a moment that way, because if you're just putting out something every day, then it's like kind of devalues your comedy.
Well, this is the real economy, you know.
Yeah,
It's all
they
about the
say.
reels.
That Zuckerberg.
For real.
That short form.
Yeah.
And it's a weird position to be in, to wonder if you have to lean into that to sustain a career, or if you just hope your longevity, you know, keeps you around enough to the people who like you will find you and will support you, however infrequent you're doing new specials or tours or whatever.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, a personal fan base has like become a little more important than like just a general comedy fan base.
It really has. And I applaud the people that have found it with, you know, how quickly some people find it, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
podcasts.
I mean, there's perennial open micers that just unlock something on TikTok and then they're selling out, you know, theaters. Like it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Uncharted territories in the comedy, and even, I mean, just like fame at large. You know what I mean? Like there's people just becoming. I mean, no more obvious of an example of like Hawk to a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are just getting famous for no fucking reason. You know?
And it's like so hard to predict how sustainable it is.
Yeah, you got to do maybe you just Hawk to me right now. Maybe that can make a lot of money.
But the other side of that too is, you know, if you just like keep your nose down and try to just get better, then when that opportunity comes, you're ready to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know? Some people get it too soon, and it's like this 5-minute clip went viral. Now you got to go do an hour at a club. Yeah. What's that look like? I mean, the odds of people ever coming back to see you again, you know,
very
it's
famous,
more of a flash in the pan.
Very famous, exaggerated example is Brendan Schaub, where it's like he got huge levels of fame before he was like ready, like as
dude,
a
why are you hating
for it? I know we love
we gotta stop hating.
We love our boy.
You
gotta stop hating, dude.
But he, I mean, he blew up because he was friends with Joe Rogan. Like he wasn't a grinding comedian.
No, he was the name, and then he started doing comedy. There's like a lot of like YouTubers that do that.
There's other people do. Fucking Steve-O from Jackass was trying to do that too. He was getting into comedy.
He is into comedy.
Well, he does like
he's still doing stand-up.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, he does like presentations almost.
Is he any good?
But
I don't know.
I don't know. If you like Steve-O, like it's a thing where like if you have a fan base,
right? If you're a Steve-O fan,
yeah, and he's got a big fan base. Jackass was huge.
Just
the #1 Measure Check Comedy Podcast. No big deal.